Yo, this is your boy Nick Trey 8 back at it again with another video. And I'm here to make a different type of video for you guys today. And this video is going to be titled Good Things About 2K. Usually, like all of us, we're bashing 2K about how trash it is and, the things that suck. But let's make a positive spin on it. And I know there's people in the comments like, man, you still buy the game and all you do is do this and that. And you're right. You're right. So I do want to do a flip on it and make some positive things about the 2K and the company and what they've brought over a history of time and not just bash it because we're capable of being positive and not just negative over here. So one of the good things about 2K, and I have it organized, I have a list, so hopefully I stay on topic and not ramble, is the simulation aspect of the game, personally. Like simulation was my thing, especially growing up with the 2K Sega series and the Allen Iverson series, and 2K4, 2K5, all of them. Up until this point. Now I don't really play simulation anymore. I play more live and rarely some my team, but simulation used to be very fun back in the day. Just the competition aspect of the game, playing with your favorite players, playing with your favorite teams against the CPU. Actually, surprise, surprise, some of you young guys, it actually used to be very fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to love playing against, the early T-Mac versus Iverson or Chris Webber, versus the Lakers, or just any good team and superstar players you want. That actually used to be fun, and 2K was actually the best at doing that, with their graphics, with their style of play. And I know it wasn't as fun as live, but that's why I gravitated to 2K way earlier before any people. Don't get me wrong, NBA Live, the series was more fun and active and more animated, but it was arcade style, and 2K was home again. That's why I gravitated to the game for more realistic style of basketball. So number one, realistic simulation basketball was the number one reason why 2K earned its fame and notoriety with me. So let me know if you guys agree or not with any of these reasons as I go along. Number two, playing with your favorite players head to head, not only against the CPU, but against your friends. If you had an argument and was like, man, Shaq's way better than Yao Ming, or LeBron was way better than Kobe, you could actually play with them on the game. You know what I'm saying? You really didn't have ability to do that in a lot of years because either the graphics were terrible or, just the gameplay was trash. But the more realistic 2K got, the more you could emulate what they actually do in real life, and you could kind of low key in a fantasy way, prove that, oh, LeBron's better or Kobe's better or MJ's better or whatever. And those were fun times. You can't lie, playing with the Lakers or T-Mac or AI against a dude who maybe doesn't like those players a lot and beating them and crushing their soul was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to love playing guys with LeBron, and again, LeBron's not the GOAT to me. He's my favorite player, but I used to love playing. Oh, he can't shoot. All he does is dunk. He can't do anything else. Oh my gosh, he was a menace. Any real 2K head knows that dude's a damn near guard center in the game. You can't score on him. He can defend damn near anybody. He can dribble crazy. He can shoot and dunk. I'm sorry. He's definitely the ideal 2K blueprint and in real life NBA blueprint of what a player is. Again, you can have another GOAT or who you think and who you like. I understand that. That's not the argument we're having. But being able to even have a real life versus is pretty much great. So I love the competition aspect of being able to play with your favorite players. MJ versus Gary Payton as you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? Just those things happening were great, and there's nothing to really deny with that. Like, I love that aspect of 2K. They did it the best, especially in their early years. Because you couldn't do no cheese shit or no fake stuff. You had to play real basketball. You had to use your pick and roll. You had to run plays. You couldn't go into Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace, or you couldn't go into KG. Whoever you was playing with. You had to really learn how to play and play smart, or you were gonna get your ass kicked. And that's something that is missing with 2K. But this is a good video about 2K and the things I liked about 2K. So no bashing here today. Number three, my GM and season modes. Number 2 was playing with your favorite players head to head. Number 1 was simulation game. Number 3 is my GM and season modes. And again, I give 2K its credit. In its early years, I was much more docile in my early years. I love thinking. I love thinking critically. So putting together the best team was right up my alley. Developing a point guard, a shooting guard, small forward, power forward, like a dream team. Whether I wanted to do the LeBron thing or Durant thing and just have a bunch of all stars together and have fun with it, or if I wanted to start from scratch like Oklahoma City Thunder and have a million picks and just keep picking the best player until I like the roster, right? That was actually fun in the beginning, and getting to choose what franchise you want, what jerseys you want to wear, and what players you want in your team. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of had this sacred rule, and let me know if you guys had it too. I didn't like picking teams with established stars. Like, I just feel like it was wrong. It was kind of tainted. Like, if a team if they were already a good team, I didn't like dismantling them. So I would pick like the trashiest team of that year, whichever 2K it was. Usually it was the Orlando Magic. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. I'm not trying to diss y'all as fans, but I would pick the Orlando Magic as a team, strip their whole roster, and just start brand new and just start developing players and signing the players I would want, and just creating a dynastic roster. Dynasties and the dynasty modes and the My GM modes. Just kind of did this signing work out? Did I overpay him? And giving guys the max and understanding how contracts work and stuff like that. That's how I really got into basketball. Like, damn, like the minimum is $1 million? Like, sheesh. You think that's a lot of money, but then, other stuff gets involved, with that, seeing the luxury tax and other stuff happening. It just was really great, and it gave me insight to what the NBA is actually all about and not just the game. So my GM and season modes, were some of my best times on the game. So that was number 3, my GM season modes. My career / 24/7 mode is number 4. And if you're not really sure what 24/7 mode, like, what the hell is he talking about? What are you talking about, bruh? Well, I'm telling you, from the 2K3 to 2K5 series, maybe even in 2K6, I don't remember. I haven't played that game in so long. But you could play as a singular player and play in different countries and states and areas, from Egypt to Japan to China to Korea, you know what I'm saying, to, Sweden, like just Chicago, Brooklyn, Arizona. You could play in somebody's backyard. Like, literally, they created like a graphic to where you are playing, like, just imagine Kobe and LeBron, and I keep using that as an example. Kobe and LeBron playing on a basketball hoop with a hoop nailed to a garage fucking door. That would be amazing. That would be fun, at least when you were a kid, It was just a crazy thing to do. But when you're in 24/7 mode, you create, whatever player you want, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, center, and you're playing against not only random players that 2K built, but you're playing against the stars, one-on-one usually, or two-on-two, or sometimes even team, and it was great because it gave 2K gave us our first taste of what my career was like, and it was just fun because you were seeing like what they built for you, and it was just very fun for me personally. I loved it. But going into my career aspect of this number 4, my career was great, especially in the beginning, like building your player up from like a 60 overall, no VC involved, to a 99. You go from being on the end of the bench, getting 5 minutes or 2 minutes a game, from being a starter. It made me appreciate, like, honestly, in real life, like, what a player goes through, especially if you're not a surefire, high lottery pick. You got to work your way up to start. And in the beginning, I loved it with 2K. Now I just want to rush through my career simulated. I want to play on the park now. But before, I appreciated the journey because it was a lot more fun then, and not jokes like now you're signing with deals and being a rapper. Like, it's all stupid now. But like, I appreciate the journey of a player, back then, and it was fun to, become from the bench player dropping 30 to now you're a starter dropping 50, on some, Chris Smooth stuff. Shout out to Chris Smooth. And he was one of the people that inspired me to even play my career and do 2K even harder. So my career was great, and I loved the Summer League. If you remember, Summer League used to be part of it. Used to play against other draft prospects and make it. That was fun. You're playing against guys, and they're all low overalls, and you guys are trying to one up each other and make it. And usually never, unless you just was comp, you never got the number one pick. Maybe a high pick, but never the number one pick. If you was able to get the number one pick, let me know. I wasn't. I think the highest I ever got was like 5th or 6th. But anyways, just that whole journey, 2K did a masterful job of kind of showing you guys like this is what it takes and this is what the journey is of an individual basketball player, and I appreciated it. Number 5, gear. Man, when I tell you NBA games, if you ever used to see it, was just generics and no type of swag and none of that stuff. Man, it was rough back then. You didn't know what shoes or what guys were wearing at all. It seemed like everybody was wearing Shaq's and Walmart shoes back then. But honestly, now, like, especially even some of the earlier games started to come up, you started to see, more designs, more creativities. It was cool seeing AIs in a game and Reeboks and, AIs and Reeboks, they're the same thing. But, Jordans in the game and Nikes in the game and, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, it was cool to see, gear, people wearing armbands and sleeves. Like, you couldn't customize players super early on in the game, but once the game started to progress, you could, start making your player look cool, or even customizing other players, and making them look cool, like, so I appreciate 2K for bringing in the brands, in a good way, not what they do now, but in a good way, like making the game more aesthetically pleasing. So the gear was a nice addition. Number 6, classic teams. And as you're seeing right now, being able to play with some of your favorite teams that you grew up with, honestly, the teams you grew up with watching, idolizing, or, whatever team was in your city and your favorite players, being able to go head to head with them as best as you can. That was great. You know what I'm saying? It was just a fun time and a fun experience playing with classic teams. And I give 2K credit. They put that in early in the game. I don't know when Live did it, so let me know when they did it. But I give 2K credit for being one of the pioneers early on and adding, classic teams. If you remember in the early 2Ks, they used to do an eras team like 80s, 90s, or the 1970s Lakers and the 1980s Bulls, and they used to do that early in the 2Ks. I remember. God damn, Kim. But anyways, the classic teams are one of the credits I'm gonna give to 2K, and letting people, live through nostalgic, player seasons, and see how good you are playing with Steve Kerr and, Gary Payton and their skill sets, and playing in different eras of basketball, seeing what different eras of basketball are like. So that's number 6, classic teams. Number 7 is online gameplay. Real quick, just being able to play against other players, online, and, compete. And back then, just, it was more simulation style, not more one-on-one or park style. Just being able to play against other people was, one of the greatest additions that 2K made. Like, it was really one of the great additions that 2K made. Hats off to them for being innovative. Live has never been able to grasp, online gameplay really well. Being able to play online blacktop, which is basketball players and stuff like that. Hats off to 2K for being one of the first innovators to do that. Number 8 is the park. The park, again, early years, I didn't really get a chance to super indulge, so I'm merely giving them credit for 2K20, because other parks to me were toxic and trash and laggy, so I just really didn't give them a chance. But 2K20, again, we got to play that game for damn near 3 years, was really underappreciated and undervalued, and I want to give 2K thanks for making 2K20, honestly. Not only did it carry us through the pandemic, but you could make a lot of builds, and unless you did the around the back cheese, or you had a slasher, or one of those, toxic centers that can shoot with a 50 or 63 ball, the game was pretty sound and pretty clean. You could play defense, and you could just do a lot of stuff with different builds, and it was great. I'm not gonna lie. That game has a special place in my heart, and I wish 2K, like, its mechanics and its engine base was still kind of built like that. So shouts out for 2K20 for making. 2K20. Shouts out for 2K for making 2K20. Because the other games I just wasn't fond of. Like 2K19 was cool, the game wise, but I just wasn't a fan of the park because of the OP builds. I just didn't like that shit. That's just me personally. But you can let me know what you think. Going faster now. Number 9, the non-VC basketball. 2K used to be home of just free basketball. You know, whether it was online gameplay, 24/7 mode, my career. You didn't have to spend modes on builds, on games, on my team packs. That shit didn't exist. You bought the game for 30, 20, 50, even secondhand, however much you played the game, and you got bang for your buck. And 2K was one of the best at doing that and creating a good game. 2K11, you didn't have to pay after you paid that 60 or 70 for the Legend Edition. You didn't have to pay. You paid your 60 bucks, played the game to its max until the next game came out, and you fully enjoyed it. And I want to give credit to 2K for creating a fun earlier year experience without pay to win type of scenarios, because that game honestly was one of the best. Like, honestly, the 2Ks from the Segas all the way up, in my opinion, till 2K20, where it just started to get out of hand with the VC. Those years were some of the best years in competitive non-VC basketball. So I want to give 2K credit for that. So that was number 9. Number 10, lastly, and this is kind of a random one, you know, to make 10 reasons, and it's not super specific, but it's 2K11 slash player-based challenges. You know, doing the Jordan challenges, especially in my youth, and some other player challenges were, man, you just had to be there, man. So legendary to do the double nickel or play with him when he was wearing number jersey 45, or when he used to do the animation and sticking his tongue out and you saw the replay in slow motion, you know, or, you know, you did the flu game and he's wearing the 12s, and you know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that, like, just really brings fond memories of why I even fell in love with the game of 2K, honestly. You know, just, you know, and I wish 2K would do that more, you know, having a LeBron challenge, having a Curry challenge, having a Isaiah Thomas challenge, you know, having a, you know, Magic Johnson or a Larry Bird challenge. So it doesn't have to be just old players. It could be new players. Just give them history on the players and what they have accomplished. It gives you a newfound respect, you know, for that player and how tough it is to do what they do in the circumstances they were. But, you know, the player challenges, the Jordan challenges, you know, that's my 10th reason for the game. So like I said, to wrap it up, I wanted to make a positive video. I usually rant, rave, and holler, and 2K's ass and its booty cheeks. But I wanted to show y'all it's possible to say some positive things about 2K. You don't always have to be negative and cursing and yelling, and everybody in the community is not toxic. There were good times and fond times in 2K. And if 2K is even listening to this, which they're probably not, but maybe they are, because you know how they are. But you know, I do appreciate 2K's work and effort to grab us and get our attention and the work they put in the game. I really do. I wish it was still like that, but you know, it's wishful thinking. So again, I got a question for you guys. What is your reasons? Again, not bashing the game. This is a calm video. What is your reasons for liking the game, or why you even fell in love with the 2K franchise? You know, give me a few reasons, or even one reason why you liked it. You know what I'm saying? I gave you my 10. You know, debate me on whether my 10 was accurate for you, or you're like, oh, you're tripping, man. This game is just trash all around. It never was good. You know, or, oh, yeah, I like the game for this reason or that reason or whatever. You know, let me know in the comments what you think. And then also, you know, hey, you know, I'm back. Wanted to give you guys, again, authentic content. All I ask you do is subscribe, like the video. That's it, and share the video. That's all I ask. Nothing else, nothing more. Roll to 1,000. Right now it's roll to 200, but roll to 1,000. You know, be with me on my way to 1,000 subscribers so I can become partner. And again, once I hit 1,000, the content goes up a level. I dedicate more. You know what I'm saying? I give you guys more aspects of me and what I think of basketball. You know, so shout out to you guys. I'm almost at 200. I'm at 182 subscribers. Roll to 200 starts now. There will be more videos dropping. You know, I'm about to get them out before 2K23 comes. So yeah, these are my reasons for why I like the 2K. What are yours? So this your boy Nick Trey 8, and I'm out.